Yeah, I did because there was a what's there for you.
Okay, Sue and Sandy, we are live, Sue and Sandy, with your guest. Do you want to introduce your guest? You're live now.
Hi everyone, this is our good friend Jenny Grace,
Hi.
who
Hi,
comes
Jenny.
out protesting, and she'll explain. We'll hand over to you, Jenny.
Hi. I don't know if people remember me. I did the podcast with John Wedger a few months ago. And on my podcast, I was requesting for therapists and for my son and for myself, because it's been very difficult for us to get support. Well, during that, a therapist came along. She actually is based in Spain, and she's absolutely lovely. And she's seen everybody's podcast. She's a big fan of supporting survivors, and we've been working together to set up a project. We've kind of like this. The website's gone live today, and it's about it's a community-based project, and it's called Graceful's Community, and it's about healing together. So we bring the community in and teach the community how we tick, how we work, and things like that. There will be therapists on board that free of charge, and also there will be art groups, poetry, writing groups. It will be a social centre, and we're wanting to do this. This is the pilot's going to be where I am in Greenwich, and then we're going to hopefully bring this out in other pilots all around the UK, and possibly in Spain and other places as well. So the website is called Graceful Communities. The Graceful Community.co.uk.
Jenny,
And,
can you send it to me in Messenger, please, Jenny?
yeah, of course I
later on.
will. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. So this is basically, so what we're requiring is the people to come, anybody, survivors or anybody who's got a heart for people. And the most important thing, that people have got compassion, and we want to build together. It's kind of like bringing healing amongst our communities, especially in light of what's happening now with the COVID and everything. We have sections of our communities breaking off and things like that because we don't know how to help and bond with each other. We want to bring people together so people will know that us survivors have got something to offer as well. This is how we can protect our children in the communities and things like that. So we're trying to enrich our communities, claim back our communities, not keep on leaning on the government so much. We've got the strength, we've got the knowledge, and we've got the manpower to do this.
That sounds really good. Really good. That's what we need out there. We really do need it.
So this person is I want hopefully come back on when next Monday and tell you more about it. So I'll send you some more details on soon, and so we can talk more about it next week. But so we're applying now. We're doing some fundraising and things like that, and this fundraising is, so we'll do fundraising. So it's like we can have come dine with me. So people come over here for sort of like to do protests and things like that. Well, we're going to ask people to come to people's houses and who are based here and have a meal, say like £5 each, and put it in a pot towards the community. And then we're going to do sort of like testimonies. We're going to do sharing and just people writing poetry. We're going to have fun, and we're going to learn to have fun. And so we can just bring some money together. We're going to have car boots. Lots of people are very, very talented. Well, we all have got some talent, hidden some of it is, but we have got talent, and we just want to bring that out and ask community. Somebody likes knitting, we could sell them on the car boot, in the car boot. If someone likes doing art, everybody just bring a little bit together, and we can just make this really big. We want it to trail into everybody's community in the end. So it's just such an exciting opportunity to bring healing amongst us survivors, but also bringing knowledge within the community.
I think that sounds really good. Don't
Thank
you,
you.
Sandy? Put your speaker on.
Out here. He's not-
Sandy, put your speaker on. Can't hear you.
can't hear.
Speaker.
Can you hear me, Dopsy?
We can hear now.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. There's Alan coming in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We can't see you.
Can't see you.
I just got a Grimsby, but I'll let you carry on. Just to say
Oh,
a big
love
thank
you.
you, Sandy. Thank you for everything you've done this weekend, and great tribute, a great honour, and thank you for letting me come to Scotland and speaking amongst your people. And a brilliant service was done, and it was just absolutely. You're just such a hero for what you've put in Warriors at Quarriers, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
And hi, Jen. How are you doing, darling?
I'm okay, darling. How are you, by the way?
Well, I'm just on my way driving home now, so that's why I've let Sandy get the show. I've only just got in the van. I've just had that travel. Well, Sandy put me on the train this morning,
Gosh.
so I'm not even home yet. I've got another half an hour before I'm home.
Oh, bless.
So
He's
I'm in my van.
missing.
Can you see me?
No.
No.
So why can't I set cameras off?
Hey,
Hello.
Sandy.
So
See
I'm
ya.
in my van.
Yeah.
Sandy.
I'm just
Sorry.
I feel fucked.
Imagine.
Hello,
Sandy.
matey. How you doing?
Sandy's lost his sidekick now. He's got no one to stand next to him when I'm starting.
Yeah. One brother, help, come back.
Sandy, you're an absolute legend, Sandy, and I thank you ever so much for everything you've done for me. And I better not go on too long because I'll start crying because I love you to pieces.
No, well, it was a pleasure having yourself, Sue, and Jean up here, the legend. So many is coming up from down south to give us support. That is just blew my head off. You know, finally meet you this Saturday. That was, yeah, that's great. You know, as you say, my brother from another mother.
Yeah, my brother from another mother. See that, guys?
Oi.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm supposed to be your best mate. Who sat and cleaned your ears out Saturday? Sunday?
Oh, Gordon Bennett, that was. Don't tell them all about that, Gordon. They want to see the episode.
I've got it. I done.
You didn't film it, did you?
His ears.
You
Yeah, I've
didn't
got the
film it.
film.
That's
Yeah,
No,
friendship,
you didn't
isn't
film
it?
it like Kathy did. Put that bit of hair on my head.
Oh, the funny hair.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, didn't it?
Jenny, this woman is so cruel to me. You wouldn't believe she was my best mate.
You look wounded, love. You really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, look, she's got me right there. Look.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later. I'll leave you to do the show, and thanks
No,
for everything.
by the way, before you go, see the wax that Sue took out. I get it tried deafening her out.
See you later, love. Cheers.
See you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.
Yeah, it was some weekend.
Yeah, brilliant weekend.
Yeah,
Really was good.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely amazing. Well, if I can come in a wee bit, I'll talk about that, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Right, well, and as most people will know, on Saturday, Sue, Jean, Alan, there were so many from down south come up to give us support at the rally that was going on in Glasgow. It went not too bad. Then on Sunday, we had our service of remembrance at Quarriers Orphan Homes at the Knitting Sill Graveyard for the 338 little children who were laid to rest there, and Quarriers Orphan Homes removed their headstones. So we're still fighting yet to get things done. This started away back in 2017, where Jane and I in the Quarriers Warriors, Justice for Children Army, That is our brothers and sisters from Quarters Orphan Homes, children in the past. We were pretty angry when we discovered that the children's headstones had been removed. So we got in contact with Quarters and they promised us, as usual, the headstones would be replaced, but they kept failing. And then they told us there were never any headstones in the graveyard. So we had to prove they were. So we spent a long, long time, Jane and I and the rest of us, trying to prove, and eventually we found a video that showed the graveyard with the children's headstones, and even at that, Quarters wasn't accepting it. So we had to go to the press, TV, and everything else about it, trying to get these headstones replaced. And eventually we showed the video at the Scottish Child Abuse Inquiry to Lady Smith, and Quarters admitted they were headstones. No one can give us an answer to this day what happened to these children's headstones or who gave the order to remove them. The children, we don't know what they died of, we've no idea. The Quarters says there's no records, but we've got someone started today looking, and some of the records, it's just natural death. Now, during my time in Quarters back in the 1950s, any child that died, you needed 2 doctors to sign a record. The child's death certificate, sorry. And Quarters Orphan Homes, as we stated many times, they had everything in there. And they even had their own doctors employed with them. So these 2 doctors could sign off the records. They could say the child died with anything. And I don't accept that. You know, personally, I don't. All these child's natural death. You know, there's a reason behind it. I mean, I had 2 brothers, elder brothers older than me, and it took me over 40 years to get everything sorted there. And on the death certificate, it says what they died with. My older brother, John, he was a cot death. My younger brother, Joseph, he had epilepsy and he'd been into a fit and he couldn't regain consciousness. So it's got to be on that record, the reason why, not just natural death. I don't believe for 1 minute every one of the child was natural death. No way. Because we're going way back to the 1800s here, right up to the 1970s. It's ridiculous the way we are being treated. But as I say, we managed to get Quarters to reinstate these children's headstones, and everything was a fight. Even to hold our own service of remembrance was a fight. To get parked at the graveyard, we had to fight. But we succeeded. We kept linking together and fighting and going forward. And we've won all the battles so far. So last year, on the 29th of September, we held a service of remembrance. That was for actually seeing the last child's headstone put in place, and we unveiled our plaque from the Quarters Warriors, and with the pleasure of Sue and Jean from the Beechholme, our sister group, coming up and helping us to unveil that plaque, where Jane and her sister Wilma and my sister Rosemary were there to unveil our plaque, so that our little brothers and sisters would know we did not forget them and never will. This year, and Sunday past there, we were back in the graveyard for our first anniversary service. And it was an emotional, very, very emotional. And again, we had the privilege of Sue and Jean coming up from London. And we were joined by my brother for another mother, as he says, Alan Merritt. That was amazing, meeting Alan for the first time. We've been on the shows many, many times. But to actually meet the man himself, that was an honour and a privilege. Some guy. He's the closest I've come to my own story of abuse. It's just, as we say, it's a bit canny. How close the things are, for Sue as well, what has suffered. It's just unbelievable. But we started off, and there was a man as well who I met last year when I was in London at Sue's rally, John Wedger. And John done an interview with us, and we went around, and I mean, that man was shocked. He knew about it, but he didn't know just how big a problem this was. And I seen that man shedding tears. He was shocked with it. But to everyone who attended our service yesterday, from myself, from Jane, my brothers and sisters, our warriors, we thank each and every one of you. Sue, Jean, yous are legends within yourself. Alan, so many of yous, and our brothers and sisters, our warriors, orphan homes, and our followers who came and gave us their support. We lit candles, 338 little candles lit, one for each child. I was, after the service, I went back into the graveyard myself, and I stood looking over all the candles just flickering. My God, I shed tears. I'm still doing it, getting a bit more. And it was returned last night when it was back, just to watch the candles flickering. And that was something else. That was just, wow, very moving, very, very moving. But we done it. We done it, and we'll be returning every year. And Corners will not stop us. No way will they stop us from entering that graveyard and hit home. No records. There's no importance.
Sandy, you're freezing. You keep freezing.
Internet connection.
Can you hear me?
I do. Yes.
Oh, yeah, you keep freezing.
No worse.
Sandy,
Cut off or something.
go out and come back in again.
Will do.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, it was very emotional yesterday, up there. And the first year we laid white roses on all the graves for them. The Quarriers Place is a beautiful place. The buildings are absolutely beautiful, but when you go past the first cottage, you can actually feel the evil. You can really feel it. When we was during the first last year when we put roses down, it was so strange because it started raining, but none of us got wet. No, it was really strange. And then the rain stopped and there was no wind, and all of a sudden the leaves started swirling all around us. It was really, and a friend of ours, Debbie, her horse actually died that day, and we think it's him, Trojan, come to take the children to rest in peace. It's very sad up there, very sad. But at least the children have got their headstones now, which is great. So that's what we've been doing. I've had Alan here driving me up the wall as normal, but I had two of them. I have to get them both in order. But John was here, Louise was here as well, Louise Dickens and her mum and her friend, I think she's called Mickey, not sure, and I think he was a priest or something like that. So we had a good time, really good time. So You know, we just think I suppose, you know, we've cancelled our demo. We've put it on hold because there's too much violence there, and I don't want anyone getting hurt. So I'm going to postpone it till after all this crap is gone. You know, if it ever goes. You know, it will. I'm just disturbed by what I've read today, that the police that were out there weren't actually police, they were security they hired. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And to see that poor woman get pulled off the ship, horrendous.
It was absolutely, yeah, it was barbaric, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, their demonstration was no more than what ours was that day, and we was all peaceful. You know.
What it is, just the way they came in, they just kind of like all of a sudden came in from nowhere in a group and kind of like and pulled that the big burly bloke kept on pushing the poor woman down.
Yeah, but
It's wicked.
because she was standing on the chair and they pulled it out from under her, and then she went down. And, yeah,
but he wouldn't stop, would he?
No, and a friend of mine was actually going to Scotland Yard yesterday to put in a complaint, but whether anything gets done or not, you know, we just don't know.
We need to do a petition complaint.
Yeah, I think that one about sending poo samples to 10 Downing Street is a good idea. Yeah.
You know, have the bloody shit.
Yeah. Well, I'd send dog poo, but you know, yeah, we got an idea. Soon get the message. We're not taking this shit no more.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know. Hello, Sandy.
Hiya, how's that?
That's better.
Good, I was getting bothered getting on there. I don't know what's up with the internet at this end.
Ours is all right here.
Not bad. I'm on it anyway, so.
Yeah, good.
I'll let you carry on, innit?
Well, no, your turn. Anyone else wants to speak? Me and Grace, Jenny have just had a nice talk, talking about, you know, finished off about what I was actually explaining about what happened at the service last year with the rain and the leaves.
Well, that was wow. That was something. That was something. That was something you have to.
Going again, isn't
Robot.
We've seen this. We all seen it. That was just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that in my life before. Not on the day.
Sandy, you going robot-y?
I had me believe.
You going robot-y again?
Yeah, I'm finding that. Oh, sorry. I've no idea what's causing this. No.
So anyway, Jenny, what else have you been up to?
I've been resting because just not been feeling very well, to be honest. Very, very exhausted. I'm very jaundiced as well, so I'm kind of like I started chemo treatment tablets. When was it? Last Monday, and they're not as bad as the intravenous chemo, but it's just I'm just exhausted all the time, and I'm sleeping most of the day, and my joints hurt like crazy. But,
yeah,
you know,
I was on them tablets. Yeah.
What did you think of them?
I can't even remember the name of them. They did drain, but what can you do? You've got to take them.
Mine's called Felix Fox, something like that. Fox, something like that.
Can't remember mine. It was so long. Yeah. Well, it was about 12 years ago.
Yeah, but they're just, and I don't feel like eating. I'm finding it really hard to eat at the moment. Couldn't
just try soups?
I've been trying soup, just kind of like, even the smell of it, But I'm okay. I'm good in spirit. I'm looking forward to this project. I think with me, I need to be I've always been active in doing
Yeah.
something positive for others, like yourselves. And I think that keeps us going, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no,
Mm.
it really does sound good. You
Mm.
know, 'cause we haven't actually got anything down there.
Mm. So
have
it'd
we?
be good to kind of like set up these little pods of, you know,
Yeah,
groups around, yeah, all around.
definitely,
Mm.
definitely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, Sandy, you frozen? Sandy, come in wherever you are.
Close and love him.
Might be. Do you know the other night I was outside having a cigarette at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, oh, that's bright up in the sky.
Mm.
But it's definitely not a star. And it was just staying there. It had all lights. It was round. It had all lights round it and a big light in the middle. And I'm
Oh,
thinking,
wow.
oh, I'm a bit, it's just hovering.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, oh, maybe it's aliens. So I finished my fag and come in.
Ah.
And then me and Alan was talking to the
Martians.
landlord,
Mm.
and he said it's a space station.
Oh.
So that could be what's interfering with the internet.
Yeah, very much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I just check the sky when I go out now in the early hours. In
Mm.
case there is aliens there coming to get me.
Well, no, I think the government, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Sandy, are you with us, love?
Yeah, can you hear us okay?
No, you've frozen.
I've no idea what's happening.
The aliens
No
are
idea
there.
at all.
You can hear him?
Yeah, can
He can hear you. Yeah.
And you've got a lovely picture on, then it's
but
still,
you-
but it's lovely.
Oh, no, I'm a fucking man. No, but you were talking about that in the sky, the light. It was just
Yeah.
and a friend, and we were coming through the village I live in, and it was three massive cities, to believe it. It was
Can't hear you.
and I was thinking this is what you crash and everything.
You keep breaking up, Sandy.
Everyone's off the way.
We'll leave
So,
him to have. Oh,
Oh, Sue, where you gone?
it's all right, my battery. I'm just going to put my charger in.
Ah.
I'm still here.
Eh.
That's it.
I think it's even through my area, it's clean up tonight.
Sorry? Can't hear you, Sandy.
I'm just
Can't
at the
see.
aliens round about. So, I keep flashing up your bad connection. But every yeah.
Sandy, you're going to have to go out and come in again, I think.
No bother. Catch you later.
Not later.
No, I'll be back on.
Oh, that's all right then. All right then. Yeah, so, yeah, I do think that's, because they don't do anything for us down there. They don't offer us any counselling. When we done our first one, Wandsworth offered us counselling. They had the NSPCC out there. Yeah, exactly. And then we could get our own counselling, but then we was told if there's a court case, we can't do anything till after it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's basically, what does that make us feel like? It just absolutely
Nothing.
worthless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they have the right, they have the, and they say, oh, move on, it's the past now. Such damage those words do to someone. We deserve counselling. This is not our fault. It's the only crime, I think, that, we're not automatically given that support that we should should be.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah, it's diabolical. You know, I mean, there's people, some of the homes and what have you, have been getting counselling and they've been given compensation and all that, and they just leave the rest of us, you
Hanging
know.
dry. I don't get that, to be honest.
No,
You know, no.
no,
It's about united, you know, and it's always should be united. You know, we've all got different opinions because we're all different, but working together, we can support each other, and that is fundamental. Because then we're
yeah,
going to be like the rest of people, you know, dumping us when the going gets tough.
yeah. I mean, you know, it's not as if it's a new thing. You know, it's historic, you
Yeah.
know,
Mm,
and they think,
mm.
oh, because we're old now that we can just be pushed aside. You know,
No,
we're human and we've got feelings too, and we've suffered.
exactly.
You know,
But the thing is that what they don't realise as well, we've suffered, but when it also passes on to our loved ones, because we haven't been taught how to live in the real world, you know.
no,
And
right.
if
You
they
know,
tackle that straight away and help us, then we'd have a lot less damaged families because of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree, definitely. You know, but they don't give two monkeys. You know,
They don't, they don't. It's always covering their back. When if we go and support them, what if they, you know, we get into trouble as well? But then, you know, it's not about that. You can't think ahead. You've got to be there for people.
yeah. I mean, like being up here at the rally on Saturday,
Mm.
it's heartbreaking. There was two parents who lost their children. Um, one of the parents, like Reese, he, I don't know, I can't remember how he actually got in, disappeared, but they found his body in the woods, and his eyes were gouged out, and I think he was naked. And do you know what the police did? In front of everybody, they tied a rope round his waist and dragged him out. You know, people saw it, pictures were taken, you know, and his poor parents have never, ever got justice, and they're still fighting for justice. And there's another boy, I think his name's Johnny. I, I can't remember his story because there was so many going on, but Reese, you know, not that Johnny's is not bad, but that's how they're treated.
Yeah.
How can you do that to anyone?
There's no words to, you know.
Where was
And the
them people?
damage that sees, you know, the parents see, that would be in their memory box forever.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and all those people that saw it. But where was the compassion from the police?
Yeah,
Where
they're
was the
cold.
tie a rope round him and his waist and drag him out? You
So
know?
they moved the evidence as well, moved the body in a way that could be being, you know.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
God, my God.
It's I have put a petition up for people to sign on my Facebook for
Yeah.
Reese. You know?
Okay, I'll have a look and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Get other
it's
people
called.
to
I
do
think
that.
it's Justice for Reese Bonner.
Okay.
You know, it just you just don't. Well, I can't. I'm just gobsmacked about it.
Mm,
You know, to treat
mm,
another human being like that.
I know.
Is
But
absolutely.
it's like it's the abuse, the constant abuse, isn't it? That
Yeah,
constant, you know, you get,
yeah,
you know, your family abused, or we get abused, and then it's the system who keeps on abusing us, re-victimizing us constantly.
yeah,
And that, you know, and then
yeah,
they expect us to be strong and getting on with life, and you know,
yeah.
um,
We can't do
mm,
it all the time.
no, no. I
Um,
spent 30 years fighting for my case. That, you know,
mm,
my two sisters ended up killing themselves, and you know, and I've lost babies. You know, well, not lost them, you know, but
yeah,
it's just. And 30 years, and I get so close, and then there's another law comes in, and it changes it, and you can't do it, and then you have to do it again, and then the time lapses, and you can't, you know.
Yeah.
So many times, yeah.
No, they just hoping we're all going to die before.
Yeah. But what they
So,
don't seem to realise is we've built this sort of like platform for other people to speak up
Yeah.
after we go. So, you know, it's not
Yeah.
going to be, you know, there will be things in place of survivors.
Yeah. We just need more young ones coming in. But I think,
Yeah.
you know, they're definitely coming
I think
out,
they
the young
are.
ones.
Mm.
You know, we
I
just
think
need
what,
more of them.
yeah, I think what kind of like unis and colleges, maybe some of the survivors going to speak to the unis and colleges and things like that,
It's an
educating
idea.
them, because, you know,
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. But a lot of them, they've gone with that extinction thing.
Yeah, rebellion, extinction,
Yeah.
the saving the planet, but that kind of like, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. I was just explaining to Jenny and that about the Reese,
Oh,
what
wow.
they did to him.
That's shocking. Absolutely. Wow, 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 wow.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, aye, that's bad. I'm hoping to have what is his mother coming on the show one night with Alan and I.
Hey,
You
that's
know,
good.
so we're hoping to have her coming on. So there's quite a few people that I can bring on, you know. So I'm talking with Alan about that just now, you know, for future shows. Amazing, these are amazing people that's out there helping and supporting victims. Just absolutely amazing people. You know, we're linked with a lot of good people out there. But I heard Sue saying about young ones. It's lovely to see the young ones coming up there and speaking out. Amazing when they do that. There's a young boy up here from Glasgow area, Asa. This young boy has been through hell. He's not told his full story. I know it, but others don't. And he stood up last week there. I gave him the courage just to speak out, and he done it. He went for it. And brilliant, brilliant. Love that guy to bits and more. I mean, this guy's slept in the streets. He's been everything, everything this boy's been through you could think of. But yet he's still got the courage to go on. And it is nice to see the young. Just amazing. And Jane and I, we were actually talking about this. You know, we're getting on in years, and what will happen, you know, after we pass on? Will the young carry on? Will it all dry up? No, this movement will continue. The young is coming forward just now, especially up here in Scotland, is amazing. Absolutely amazing. We go to the rallies and we see young ones there. Aye, it's lovely to see that. Absolutely. I mean, all ages are coming out now. You know, it can only go from strength to strength. You know, and so thanks to the young ones doing this. And the old ones like myself will get that. But we've got to encourage the young ones to come forward. Don't be frightened to speak out. There's nothing there. I mean, my abuse happened in 1959, and for 54 years of my life, I kept silent. Never told anyone, my mother, my father, my brother, sisters, no one knew. I've mentioned my stories many times, it's out there. But I just wish I had been young again and starting over again. My God, I would speak out. I wouldn't go through a life I've come through. But it's lovely to see young ones doing their part. They're absolutely amazing. I do encourage that. I was also watching there a few videos over the weekend. I'm going to change this a wee bit. And I was watching, I'm not too sure, I think it was down the London area. There's a woman in a wheelchair.
Let me out, I'm stuck in your pocket.
Sorry.
Let me out.
Is that Alan Merritt you've got in your pocket? But, No, I was watching this video and there was a woman in a wheelchair and the police grabbing her and pulling her out. And then you see this policeman and he actually punches her in the side of the face and puts her to the ground. I don't know why in London, in the London area and Manchester, all these places, he's having rallies down there. The police, the way they go in there, I mean, as you seen in Saturday show up here in Scotland with police, we're talking away to them and
I couldn't believe it. So totally different.
different.
And there was we didn't have to go in groups of 6. We didn't have to wear masks, nothing.
No.
And they did, they were talked, we had a laugh and a joke with them, you know, and as he said, we've been to 2 demos so far up here. We've had no problems and we're going to go back and report everything's fine.
No.
You know, we wouldn't get that down there. We've
You know
seen how
what?
our police react.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've watched many videos with it. I can't understand that, you know. You hear people going, "No, police are bad, police are this, oh, they're evil." But it's the same in everything. It's even the same with us. They're good and bad. You know, you heard yourself the other Saturday there when I was in Glasgow, the woman picked me up because I used the F word and the word penis, and she had kids there. And when I asked her, I goes, "Well, move, if you don't like what I'm saying, move the children to the back." And she wouldn't accept my apology. Then she was there on Saturday again, causing a wee bit of disturbance. But we get this on all sides, so you can't just go, all police are bad. I mean, the one police guy out there that gave up everything to supporters, and I said, "Well, legend, that to me he's a legend, is John Wager." You know, and the crap and stuff that's been told about that man is shocking, disgusting. And 2 of the people that was criticising John Wager a few years ago was criticising me and causing a lot of bother. Some of our followers believed it, which led on to things that happened over the last 2 weeks with myself. We should all be working together. You know, we should all be working together. Okay, the police are taking orders for higher up. It's the ones that's higher up sitting all protected in a little office and going, "Yes, that's the way to do it, boys. Get in there with the batons, pepper spray the buggers, keep them silent." These guys should be turning in their bosses. Walk out. If they walked out, what would the country come to? If all police officer, anyone in the armed forces, all just walked out and went, "No, we're not doing it anymore."
Yeah, can I say something there? If you remember, Jenny, at Trafalgar Square, when we was walking down, no, it wasn't. It was, I think he was coming back up, and that police officer shook John's hand. And said to him, he watches what John does, and he agrees with him. We need more of them to come out. We do.
That was amazing.
He was nearly crying.
Yeah.
On that, it was brilliant. You know. But yeah, sorry about that, Sandy. I just wanted to put that in.
I know bother, but you're true. You know, if we all work together, then we wouldn't need the bloody government to make stupid rules for us and take our kids off us and everything else that goes with that.
That's why we need a new day, Guy Fawkes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's a new party started up here in Scotland. It's the People's Party of Scotland, and it's running Charles Lucas. He's the main man, and this guy says it was up here in Scotland. They're going to be teaching school children from the age of 5 about sex and how it's okay to watch porn videos. It's okay, you're not a man, you're not a woman. I don't know what you are then. If you're not, you're either one or the other. Now, I don't care if anybody's homosexual, colour their skin, the God they pray to, I don't give a damn. And I always say, it's not what lies, it's what lies within you that makes you a better person. You know, so I'm not getting down there, but this fella Lucas, and it was a thing that was going out live, and it was the Deputy First Minister of Scotland, John Swinney, and the rest of them. They were talking about how it's okay to teach children to touch each other, to masturbate. They had a jar of Nutella and a banana. And this is sick, what these children are going to be learning. And the jar of Nutella is to represent a man's backside, and the banana a man's penis. And they're teaching 5-year-old kids, 5 years of age, how it's okay for a man to have sex with a man. I don't care if you're gay or anything else, lesbian, go on with it, enjoy it. But don't teach it to our children. Children should be children, have a child's life. Because they get this banana and dip it into the jar of Nutella, moving it up and down, representing sex, and pull it out and explain to the children why this is brown and whatnot. This should be banned for children. What? Children are not interested in it. Children will ask their parents about sex. Where did I come from? It's up to the parents to teach their children that. Not school teachers being forced to do it, who don't want to do it. And no government has got a right to make this a compulsory law and pass an act like that they'll teach our children that. If I was young again starting out with a family, I would keep my son, I wouldn't let my son go to school. I'd have self-taught him. But it's ridiculous the things they're doing. But this Charles Lucas, he managed to get into the meeting and he got the microphone and he challenged Swinney about this. And I mentioned about this before, there were a woman there and she was flapping her arms. Oh, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about this. This is going out live. And Charles Lucas turned out and says that, he goes, I can't talk to you about this, adults, but yet you're letting our children hear this, which was a fantastic point to put over. This guy is not wanting this to happen in Scotland. I think we are moving Scotland forward. It's different for Gordon and Co want to do it. Policies. I'm going to be meeting with this guy. We're setting up a meeting just now, and I'll meet with him more, and I'll actually see if I'll see Alan, I'll see Jason, if we could do a show with him one night. Let him know the SNP are doing to our kids in here, and the laws that are coming out in Scotland is disgusting. Victims of abuse in care homes. I've been trying to get Quarriers Orphan Homes in Bridgeway, Scotland to give me a written apology for the abuse I suffered. Quarriers had no records of me. I had to prove I was in Quarriers, which I did. But they still will not give me that written apology. The Scottish Government has given me a written apology, but Quarriers will not. There's a redress scheme set up here in Scotland. Anyone over the age of 6 to 8 years of age or who is suffering from ill health, they'll get £10,000 paid into their bank account. I've received that, Jane's received it and whatnot. The final amount, we do not know what it's going to be. And if we sign their agreement, they will give us whatever they decide. And also with a bonus that Quarriers Orphan Homes will give us each a written apology. And every other orphanage in Scotland where children were abused, as long as they sign this agreement, they'll get an apology off the orphanage they were abused in. Now that's blackmail. total blackmail, taking away everything of ours. Well, we're a wee bit luckier up here in Scotland, especially with us, the Quarriers Warriors. We've got the press on our side, and we're hoping to go forward with them and let this be known to more people, the way the SNP are treating us. But the thing is, there are many newspapers in Scotland with all government ties in them, and they will not put anything up. They'll come to our service of remembrance and write about that for these poor children. But when it comes to sexual abuse of the past and the present, they will not do nothing. They're silenced. I don't blame the journalists. I definitely do not, but I blame the editors who are silenced this. There's too much silence being kept on, kept back. I mean, way back years ago, there were a fella, Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, was speaking out about Jimmy Savile. And that guy's band, they lost a record contract, they lost everything. They were never allowed back on the television again after that. And this is what's happening in our country. We've been silenced and silenced and silenced and silenced and silenced. I mean, we're turning into like what communist Russia was. We're turning into that slowly. We've been silenced so much. We're being jailed for speaking out. We're being smashed in bits, as I've seen, with police. They're sent out there to cause riots with us. I've seen peaceful protests where the police have guided people down to other groups to cause trouble. It's sick. It's ridiculous. But this is the way we're going, and it's only going to get worse. Just matter of fact, it's only going to get worse. So we've got to start realising just how bad this problem is and start working together to bring an end to all problems, from loving parents, having their children take off them and put into care, and also for the adult and victims of the past and present of child abuse. That's got to come to an end. This can't go on, and especially the sentences the paedophiles get when they go up in front of a judge. There was one man which I spoke with last week, and he had his case in the High Court in Glasgow, and the judge abandoned the case because it might cause COVID. I was like, no, that's sick, that's bad, that's really bad when they do that. But I'll let Sue come back in. I know she's wanting to come in there. I think I see her hand waving about.
No, sorry. That was my cousin. She was wanting the pictures from the weekend and everything, so she just phoned me back to see where I'd put them.
Yeah,
and Jean's making a cup of tea.
Oh, that's terrible. You getting Jean to make you a cup of tea.
I didn't. And guess what we got to eat with it? Scottish fudge cake.
Oh, well, in 10 minutes.
Lovely. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, yeah. First time I've ever had it, and we've had 2 this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would love to thank the lady. I'll not give names out, but the lady come over at the weekend with the tea light candle jars so we could have a candle to say the Gil's headstones. And she also gave us a lovely box of biscuits.
Oh, yeah. Don't share them. Don't share them.
She's not hearing me.
No. Well, I've got some biscuits here for you, actually. Hold on a minute. I must show you them.
Ones you don't like out of the box.
Should have said. Hold on. Sandy biscuits on that I saved for him.
Oh.
Eh? No, the ugliest ones. Chocolate. Just use that one, Jen. Sorry about that. I had some chocolate biscuits. I don't know where they've gone. and they were called Uglies. I will find them. They're from Avanti. They gave them, and I kept 2 for you, but they've gone.
I like the name. I like
Yeah,
the
that's
name.
what.
And I'll admit, when I'm meeting them, Sue, I'll be thinking of you.
Oh, I'll find them. I've got some for Jane here. One she likes. I've been saving them. So,
No advertisement on here. It's a company that makes biscuits, and they're called VIBs. Classic biscuits. Oh, sweet Chinese chocolate biscuits. Look at that, girl. Yeah.
Oh, they
Brilliant.
look nice.
They are. They've got caramel in them. And I'm a big caramel
Give
fan.
me some.
I'll send them down.
he's just a pig for chocolate, really.
Oh yeah, I'm a chocolate fanatic.
I
So am
sent.
I.
I'm not. I sent some. I made Alan 2 beef and horseradish rolls this morning, and a Kit Kat, and a big bag of his favourite chili crisp sensations to eat
Oh.
on the way down. So, and he'd been to Jane and Sandy's for a big cooked breakfast before he went.
Oh, I love him. Oh.
So, you know,
You really
just-
look after each other. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
important.
yeah, it's important.
Sandy, was it an English breakfast or a Scottish breakfast?
Scottish. With square sausage as well.
Oh, I love the square Scottish sausage.
Yeah. You know,
We had
Square
it the other
sausage?
day.
You can't have square sausage.
On with Alan, you know, about the square sausage, and he goes, "Oh, it's usually round in it." I go, and Jade told was telling her, he goes, "No," he goes, "We make them square in sausage. We make square sausages up here, so they fit in a slice of bread perfect."
I tell you what, Jason, they taste totally different from our ones down there, and so does the black pudding.
Yeah, well,
Wasn't it white pudding they have? Is it white pudding in Scotland?
And black.
What is the difference?
Difference.
Yeah.
One's black, one's white.
I know that. Don't go all don't go all BLM on me, Sue. Come on. What is the difference between black pudding and white pudding apart from black and white? Come on. Oh.
black pudding's made with white pudding's made with more oats in it and stuff.
Right,
You can
okay.
also a red pudding and a fruit pudding. There's so many up here. You spoil for choice.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So
Anyway, Sandy, what are you doing eating biscuits when you should be eating? You should be eating shortbread up Scotland, shouldn't you?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Shouldn't you be eating shortbread, not caramel biscuits?
Yeah, but I just finished the shortbread, so many. That was the appetizer leading up to the chocolate.
Oh, I'll tell you something. I've got to advertise this. Where we're staying at the moment, the Grife Inn in Bridge of Weir, right? It's no frills, like it's above the pub. It's not dirty, it's all clean and everything. And the staff here are absolutely amazing. They won't, anything you ask for, they will do it. They're really amazing. So friendly. The locals are friendly. I think Jean's pulled a fella.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah.
Did you say Jean's pulled a fella?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Do we get our hats ready?
What happened to that painter friend I've seen, fell in the painter?
Oh, that's Joe.
You didn't know about yourself, So don't
See
you
there.
don't you try and
No, well, even Ian come down to me and said, keep an eye on Jean. I think she's pulled. Didn't they, Jean?
Hang on, are you and Jean sharing a room?
Yes.
If she sends you down the shops, you know why? She's sneaking a fellow in. Yeah.
well,
she's up there. She's pottering about. You know, we're just having a lazy day today.
Yeah, I laugh. The other day there, Jason, I did laugh. I took Sue and Jean along to. It's called the Braehead Centre. It's a large shopping centre.
Oh, that's. I thought he was going to say something that before we went to Braehead. But
Was there something more?
Come on, spill the beans. Where did you go before? Where did you go before the
We
shopping
want to see
centre?
the before.
Yeah, what happened before, Sandy?
I'll let Sue tell you.
No, come on, you tell us. Where did you go before?
Is that with your gas, Sue?
no, shut up, you. It was to do with my hearing aid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. Yeah. Ha ha. What? I'll not say it there, but Sue had problems with her hearing aid. It's a wee hose, it's sort of a wee hose pipe, and it fits sort between her ear and the hearing aid, and it had broken. And she tried to fix it. So she managed to get a place in Paisley to fix it, and we went along. And we were only in the place less than a minute. And the fella, he got the hearing aid in this wee piece of plastic and shoved it back in. Went, there you go, £10.
And a
Really?
free packet of batteries. No, it was twisted. When you pushed it in, thank you, it looked as though, it was too big. I didn't realise you had to screw it in. So it cost me £10, but that was all right.
I know.
God.
All I heard when he done that was £10, please. Next idiot.
Okay.
Oh.
So
No, we went up to the shopping centre doing a bit of shopping. And Jean wear mini dress.
oh,
God, that was funny. Was this mini dress and she picks it up and puts it against her. She shouts and Sue, do you think that's a bit small or do you think it would show my drawers? I couldn't stop laughing. For a woman her age, she's just absolutely funny. Brilliant sense of humour. Well, it's just so funny.
yeah.
But it's, as I say, it's lovely to have Sue and Jean back up here in Scotland, and we're going to go about, and I've took them to where William Wallace was born, and to his wee house, and we get into, it's just a ruin, but we went in, we seen that, and they were sitting
We sat by the fire, yeah.
And Jean lay on the floor. Because they'd been asking where was the bedrooms. I go, so they just slept on the floor there. So Jean tried the floor out for comfortness.
So Sandy, although it was a really important weekend with the remembrance service and everything, it's good to hear that you've also had some quality time with good friends as well and some good experiences.
It's not all going to be doom and gloom. When they're up here, we had the rally, we've had our service. I mean, the turnout was amazing, absolutely amazing. And just before we started the service, John Wedger done an interview with us. That's on our Facebook site. It's on John's as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
John really was, taking aback with us.
Yeah. Sandy, what media coverage did you have this year? Did you have the local press or newspaper?
Yeah, we've got the.
Oh yeah.
We've got a fellow that's on our side, and he's freelance, and he works with a few newspapers up here in Scotland.
Right.
So we do not bad, especially with the local paper up here. It's the Renfrewshire Advertiser. Our Gazette, sorry, Renfrewshire Gazette. Better get that right. Give them a wee plug. And they've been, from day one with us, they've been amazing. Putting their story out there. And the lies that's been told by quarriers, it's all coming out in the wash because we've got all the proof to back up what we're saying. You know, and quarries are telling one story, we're telling the other, but we can back up our words are true. And the more we do that, the more we upset quarriers. I mean, I'm even barred off their website for putting things up they don't like. Well, I had a thing there, and it was about the wrongdoings of quarriers, and there was someone put up about the abuses. They put up about the abuse happened years ago. It's not like that now. Well, it is like that now. Not sexual that we know of, but we know of physical abuse. We know of physical abuse and verbal abuse still going on in quarriers today. We've got the proof of that. We've got statements from people. So it's still going on today, and this is what we'll campaign to wipe out. We'll wipe out. Sorry, Sue.
I'm gonna have to get up because my back's hurting me. I'm just gonna have to walk about. Okay, because it's.
Do you want to turn your camera off for a minute, Sue, and then take 5
Yes.
minutes or however long you
Okay,
need?
thank you. All right,
Oh God.
That's
She's
what-
got a state, Sue. She does suffer from back problems and that. It's the same for Sue.
Yeah.
And that I've got it with Jane. She's got up there and I know through time Jane will be in a wheelchair. But Jane's got this thing. If I'm in a shop with Jane and we get lost, because she hates her rejection. When Jane was put into, as we
Right, Sandy, you're breaking up a lot. Do you want to try turning your camera off and see if it makes the connection better? Because I think you're struggling with the internet. Right, let's see if it picks up.
Yeah, I'll stop it. Jane, but we'll still keep campaigning. Jane, but who suffers?
Oh, Sandy, you're really breaking up, mate. Really bad connection.
Well, as I say,
Oh, I'm the same as you, Jenny. I can't make out what you're saying. It's
Okay.
breaking up too much.
I'll try coming back.
Okay, try going out and coming back. Oh, it's bad when that happens, Jenny, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
does happen sometimes.
That's technology for you.
It is, yeah. Especially up in Scotland. I think the Welsh have the same problem. We've got a few Welsh people come on here and they have the same problem with their internet. It just disconnects and reconnects and starts buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. What part of the country are you in?
I'm from London.
Oh, right, okay. So you've got fast internet and I imagine...
Well, we haven't. Where I am actually in Greenwich, it's not a good network at all. So I have to sit near the window. So this is, I've got this, and window's just there wide open, so that I can get a good signal.
See,
it's not that good.
They say about this 5G they're going to be bringing in, and
don't.
Yeah. So I can when this sort of stuff happens, like with Sandy, I can understand why they want to increase the speed and increase technology, but then it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You've got two sides to it.
Yeah, it's a danger, the health dangers with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's not good.
It's crazy.
Anything like, with this radiation and things like that, and the higher it goes, the frequency, the more it's likely to cause long-term health problems to people.
Well, yeah, do you remember when 4G first came out? And everyone was going, you can't have 4G, your phone will scramble your brain, and everyone was saying the same thing about 4G, but now we've all got it. And we just don't talk about the dangers of 4G because
but
it's
I
moved on
think
to 5G.
it's also people's heads have been scrambled by it.
Yeah. I believe they probably have.
Yeah.
And but we've become accepting of things, don't we? We just
Yeah,
no one really,
yeah.
Everyone's got 4G now, haven't they?
Yeah.
And
All of us,
yeah,
all of us.
yeah,
It's
and I
like
mean,
we moan about something and then we just forget what we moaned about and just, it's just the norm then,
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
keeping on
This
with that moan.
this time next year, we'll all be moaning about 6G,
Oh, don't, yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll all have 5G on our phones.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's madness, but
I think
yeah.
we need to really find a way of sticking to our guns.
I think the thing is, people always want bigger TVs, and they want
Yeah,
faster laptops and faster computers.
It's always, isn't it? This game of want,
Yeah.
the next,
Especially with the
next
gaming
level.
Especially the kids with the gaming community, they really want to get faster
Yeah.
all the time, But
Yeah.
at some point, you got to stop.
You have to, because I think it's a bit like life, isn't it? Then you see the way life maps out. It's like for example, those at the top. It's that want more,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter about anybody's life.
But there's this saying: if it isn't broke, why fix it? And
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think companies just want to. If they know if they can provide the bigger TV, the faster computer, the faster gaming console, people will buy it. So technology is chasing all the time to provide the next biggest thing to the consumer, and then they'll buy it, and then next Christmas. I mean, we just had the PlayStation 5 come out, haven't we? I think. Someone told me the PlayStation 5 is that. I'm like, and on iPhone, bloody, was it 12, 13 or 11? I don't know.
It's iPhone 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
why keep going? To me, a phone, make a phone call, send a text.
Exactly.
It works.
But we didn't have that when I was younger. We didn't have all that. We didn't even have a landline. So,
I don't remember everything going different versions right up to 12.
No.
I had a little crappy old Commodore computer. I didn't have Commodore 1, Commodore 2, Commodore 3, Commodore 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember the old Nintendo, the square little box thing.
Yeah,
Duck Hunt.
or Pac-Man. Was it Pac-Man?
Pac-Man and Paperboy, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Duck Hunt on the Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
A bit retro, that is, isn't it? Right, we've got Sandy back. I think Sandy's back with us. Did you kick your computer, Sandy? Is it all working?
I don't know. Can you hear us okay now?
Sounds fine.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
Good stuff. Well, I'm back in anyway. And there you go, Jason. There's a biscuit.
We've got the Sue back as well. That's cool.
Yeah, and just for Sue, there you go. So look at the biscuits I've got. I'll see if I can get them up. Ding, 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 ding. There you go.
We've got Alan Merritt on the way in as well. Give him a chance to get in and connect his mic and everything.
There's a man coming in.
I don't think he's got his camera on. Oh, he has got his camera on.
Hello.
He's home.
You're
Hey, yeah.
Home.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Good to know you're home safe, brother. Well, nice to know.
yeah, thank you very much for everything.
No place like home, eh, Al?
Little Jenny and then Sue. All right, Sue. You all right?
Oh, Sue's muted herself.
Speak.
Moving yourself.
I've just been for a walk downstairs because my back was hurting.
All right, darling.
How are you feeling now?
Yeah, it's all right. It's like a nerve and it
Mm.
catches and I go into a spasm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what you want to do, Sue? Do what Jean's
What?
done. Do what Jean's done. Meet a fella there and get yourself a little back rub.
I have a back rub, My grandson has to do it for me because when it goes.
That's not quite what I meant, but okay.
No, I know. But I'm fed up with men anyway.
You're off men, are you? You're off men. What's wrong with us men?
Well, as I say, I've been married twice and I've divorced them
For
twice.
a time lucky, there you go.
I don't think my grandkids would accept me.
What you need to do, Sue, is phone up Ian at the inn and ask for room service.
He's going on holiday tomorrow.
Well, I'll let you go just now. You can phone me now.
Yeah, it's not like having George here, is it?
Oh, I know. You'll get nobody to make your tea or coffee. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. Just a minute, Jane.
Exactly. Exactly.
Nah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
That's my wee friend Sandy.
I'll give Jane the rest of the day off, but she'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, she's brilliant.
She's
Brilliant.
an
lad.
angel.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been having a good chat about a project that Jenny's been doing,
Yeah,
and sounds really good.
yeah.
Yeah, so we need to get onto that.
Well, Jenny's a good one. She's we were speaking about this here not so long ago, and I thought, yeah, it sounds really, really interesting, intriguing, and
Yeah.
well put together.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, Sue, Alan and I are starting a band together. You know how I do the guitars?
Oh, can I sing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Singers.
God help us.
Believe it or not, I'd love to do.
People pay us not to make not to
So
play.
what would your band be called then, Sandy and
The
Alan?
old Billies.
The Old Billies.
Warriors.
Ah.
Oh, yes.
We need to think of a name. The geriatrics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Geriatrics.
Jerry and the Atrics.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
God.
Mind you, Alan's
It's,
got a certain look of right said Fred about him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Jason, did you ever see the picture of Alan? And he, what hair was it? I thought it was
Well,
cute.
Kathy was combing her hair, and she took the hair off her brush, and she slapped it smack bang on the middle of my head, and it looked propped up like a Mohican.
And it looked like he had pubes on the top of his head.
No,
Yes, it
not
did.
exactly so. I
Yes,
mean,
it
that's
did.
exaggerated.
No, I'll put the
slightly.
picture up and show you.
Go on in.
Can't now, I'm on here.
There you go. Then.
What you want to do, Alan?
Can't do it because I did it
Yeah.
before.
What you want to do, Alan?
You
is
haven't
go
seen the one that Sandy took of me, have you?
Alan, what you want to do is go down the old tattooist
Yeah.
and get a bunny rabbit put on your forehead.
So it looks like hairs.
Yeah, from a distance it'll look like a hair.
Yeah, I've heard them all, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it used to be a footpath that, but now it's a motorway. Look, yeah.
yeah, well,
Wash and go.
No,
Washed
Alan,
it.
get it right.
Hey, wash and go. I washed it and it fucked off.
Alan, get it right. It's a solar panel for a sex machine.
Oh my God.
Hey, you can talk. I was on your bed the other night.
Hang on. You was on
Right,
who's
3 times.
three
Wow.
times on the bed.
Yeah, 3
Oh,
times
dear.
she had me on her bed.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
terrible.
Yeah.
as you're talking there, Alan, you know.
I know. Until the cannon came along.
But up here in Scotland, Jane and I, we're known as Goldilocks in the 3 years.
I thought Jane. I'll tell you something. I thought Jane was brilliant at the memorial service.
Jane is good. She doesn't know how good she is. You know,
Yeah.
and full credit to Jane, you know, but
She was so soft and gentle. It
I
made
know,
it
but-
so overwhelmingly respectful.
she's some girl, you know. I'm just sorry things didn't go to plan the way we had planned in Quarriers. But we're here together again, and
Yeah, that's all that
we
matters,
know,
isn't it?
know that we're plans for the future. You know, the future's ours now. And as I was saying to Alan today, we'll be together forever. Because once it's our time to go, we're on our ashes put at Quarriers. And there were a tree by the River Grife where we sat, and we used to talk about our plans. And we want to be, that's where we want to be. So we'll be together, and we'll be looking on to the Knitting Hill graveyard over the little children and over the River Grife where
Mm.
we were making plans for the future. So, well, that's where
You know, I'm like Sue. Sometimes, you know, if I can be to the point, and I say things, and if I've got something to say, I'll say it. And I said to Sandy, I said, you know, when we was on our own, I said, you know, that woman worships you, absolutely adores the ground you walk on. She worships you. And I said to him, I said, now, Just a little bit of a, you know, I shouldn't really be saying this to you, but
Oh, no.
if anything happened to Jane, right? Jane has asked us if we'll make sure that you was all right. And
Yes.
she said, what did you say to Sandy, Alan? She said, because he came home and he was a totally different man. He was so lovely and respectful. And not that he isn't lovely and respectful, but
No, but that really touched us, Alan, was saying that, you know. I know Jane loves me, and you know yourself how much I love her. I worship the ground she walks on. She's everything.
mhm.
Jane was talking one night, and we know her health problems and that. And she goes, she maybe go before me. And I told her, I goes, oh, you've not looked at our contract to small print. It's me goes first, not you. And she went, but if it does happen, and I goes, well, I'll not be long after you. Maybe that was the wrong thing for me to say. You know, considering what Jane's come through and I've come through, you know, probably was the wrong thing. But she's everything to me. She's my world. She's here, I
Yeah,
believe.
we know that. Don't we know that?
You know,
Yes, we do.
but she's very quick-witted, you know.
Oh, yeah. I think she takes it off after you because, I mean, you're quite sharp. You're a bit of a little sharp tack, you. And Jenny, this guy, honestly, when you see him with his wife, now, he's 69. If you took the 6 off, he acts like a 9-year-old.
Oh,
I was about to say that, Alan. He's got the cheeky. Hang on, Sandy has got the cheekiest boyish little laugh going.
Yeah.
He really has.
do you know
Always laugh.
what? When I first met Sandy,
I'm going to disagree with you. You're saying take the 6 off and it would be 9. I'd be taking the 9 off and make me the 6. Make me younger, Alan.
when I first met Sandy, I was just talking to him, and then we did a video chat, didn't we? And he reminded me of a comedian, and I couldn't think of his name. I think it was Max Swall, actually. No,
what's that? It was a program where you should be on bread.
oh, Grandad.
Aye, you know, and sometimes you see him like that, you know, especially when up here when it's lockdown, there's not many hairdressers in the here. I mean, honestly, God, if I went into a field with Highland cattle, you couldn't tell us apart. You know, the only way you could tell us apart is I'm the baldy one. You know.
There's a barber's open across the road from here.
I will be going up tomorrow, Sue, before I pick you up, and you'll see the new autumn look Sandy.
He's gonna have his hair done and his ears done.
You said that last week.
That's I'll wait till Sue gets home, and then I'll do my ears so I don't hear so much. You know?
Hang on a minute, they done him the world good. You got some coming up to you as well.
Have I?
Yeah, they'll be there
Good girl.
9th or 10th.
Oh, you're an angel, aren't you?
Oh,
Just make your own cut out.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to put an apology tonight, if that's
Oh,
okay.
cool.
And it's to your wife, Alan.
For putting up with me.
Yeah, I'm putting an apology to your missus tonight. Because
Shall I get her and not tell her you want to apologise?
No. It's just that I think Alan will be having problems with his pipes shortly, the same as you have, but in a different context. I mean,
What are you trying to say? I fart a lot.
you're a gift of Scotland, honest to God. We've got North Sea oil, and now we've got we'll not get North Sea gas, but we'll get Suez gas, you know. But our gas bills will be getting brought down shortly. You know.
We was at Sue, we was at a place, me and Sandy went, he took me to a place, right, for this trail, right? We stopped by the side of the road, we cut through this trail, and it was really soggy and boggy. And then suddenly we got to where the Black River was and the Green River. Is that right, Sandy?
Oh, is that where Meg's mum's Meg was, or whatever her name
Well,
is?
it's Duckle Castle.
Hmm.
A long time ago, I done documentaries with I love the history of Scotland, but I like the history that nobody really hears about. And it was a battle of Duckle Castle. Duckle Castle lies just outside.
Sandy, wasn't Sue the other side of the hill with a cannon?
Pardon?
Wasn't the Sue the other side of the hill with a cannon?
They just stuck a cannonball up her backside. Go, Sue! Woof! Deadly.
You know, he said to me, we went to this opening, we stood there, and he said, look, there's the hill, there's where we were in that woodland and where them stones were and all that. He said, can you imagine standing there, being a farmer and standing there and think, what the... And seeing this cannonball shooting across the thing, and he said, there was a monk. He got the cannon, right? And he said he was like Gordon Banks. Can you imagine him trying to catch this cannon?
Yeah, because when Mons Meg was fired, now Mons Meg can fire a ton cannonball for a distance of 2 miles. And that's what, as I was saying to you, you know, it come in from the east and then out of the west wall. And you see the thickness of these walls. You know, but as you see, I just can imagine this monk, contact! Flying at the wall.
But isn't it, don't people say something about the spirit of the monk if they go there at night or something? Or
Yeah,
isn't there a...
Yeah, there's a legend about it. And this could lead on to another fantastic story. And it's just crazy. But there were a monk from Paisley Abbey, and he had done something wrong, and they kicked him out. Now, Duckle Castle, there's a family called the Porterfields, and they'd a ford with
You've got to have some hot.
Lyle. You know, it's been shortened to Lyle, the name. They're related to the Tate and Lyle sugar.
Yeah.
They're a big ford there. And it was the King of Scotland. He come down and he had Mons Meg with him. And they fired it. But they asked the monk to leave. They asked him to leave. And he went no, because they'd give him homage. He would fight in the battle. And of course, when Mons Meg was fired and the cannonball comes through the wall. I shouldn't be laughing, but the stones come down and one of the stones hit him and killed him.
Wasn't the cannonball, it was a stone?
Yeah, it was a stone off the wall, you know, but it was the cannonball that comes through the wall. I made a joke about it when I done the documentary. And I goes, when the cannonball comes through the wall, and I told about the stone, you know, stone come down, kill him. I goes, but my theory is the cannonball come through the wall. I goes, and he tried to catch it. I goes, and that's when they realised he wouldn't make a good goalkeeper.
You said that, didn't you? Hang on, Sue wants to say something, Sam.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind if I go, because we haven't eaten yet.
Oh, okay.
So I need to go and get us some dinner, because there's no cooking here tonight.
And I'll show you some biscuits, so I'll keep you one of my Marks and Spencer's, not your cheap Asda ones, Marks and Spencer's ones. I'll keep you one of them.
Oh, you're very generous, love. All right, well, I'll see you all next week. Love you,
Bye,
Jenny.
darling. Love you.
Love you all.
See you soon,
Thanks,
honey.
Sue. Thanks,
Bye, Sue.
Bye-bye.
And I'll see you tomorrow, Sue.
Oh, hang on a minute. Jenny, can you say hello to... Where is she? Jean.
Hi, Jean. How are you, darling?
Jenny.
How are
Hello,
you?
Jenny. All right, thank
Hi.
you.
Yeah,
Having a great
lovely
time.
to see you. Sorry,
Having a great
darling.
time up here.
Are
love
you?
Sandy,
Fantastic.
I love
Yeah.
Alan. I love Sue.
Oh.
I love you. I
Yeah,
love
love
everybody.
you too, darling.
Jane.
Hang on, before you go, Jean,
Jean,
Jean.
before you go, Jason wants
Jean,
you.
have you been gallivanting with the men in Scotland?
Pardon?
Have you been gallivanting with the Scottish men?
No, not really.
Not really.
Jason, there haven't been a rich man that's got one foot in the grave who's got a lot of money. That's what I want.
Right, okay. A rich man with 1 foot in the grave. There you go. Yeah, but Jean,
That's a shock, Sandy.
Yeah, but the thing is, Alan, look, Jean doesn't realise they're Scottish. She ain't getting their money.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
This man paid for nearly everything, and I said to him, "No, you're not going to pay for this meal because I'm going to pay for this meal." And then I went to settle up with the landlord today for my room, and he'd already paid the bill.
Oh, that's good of him.
But no, that with Jean, you know, she's not had many men. She's had a few Highland flings right enough, but not much, you know. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman. Yeah, I love Jean to bits.
I like Jean's energy. I think Jean's got so much energy about her, hasn't she, Alan?
My wife's only had 3 boyfriends: the Army, Navy, and the Air Force.
That's wicked. That's wicked.
Oh, you're lucky.
No, Alan, I was just saying that I like Jean's energy. You know, it's good that she's not a shrinking violet. You know.
Yeah, she bless her. Do you know when we was on the show one night and we was doing it, and I had told my story about the carbolic soap, and when I put it into context of that, it was being put in my mouth and in my eyes. I thought it difficult for people to accept. And I thought people won't believe this actually happened to me as a child. They were actually doing this torture-ish type of thing to a child, this inhumane thing they were doing to children, young children. They were actually putting carbolic soap in their eyes, in their mouth, roughing their bodies up, scrubbing them with floor scrubbing brushes, slapping them. And it all stung with this carbolic soap because it used to kind of burn you. And then one night Jean was on and she turned around and said they were doing it to her in Beechholme in the 50s. And I thought, Jesus, it's not just me. And I don't mean that in any other way than it was kind of like a relief that I wasn't saying this and it was like a figment of my imagination. And then Sandy and Jane one night Jane came on and she really opened up in my story, because not only was Sandy brilliant one night when he was on the show, that Jane was absolutely superb, and she really did open up. And both of them were talking about the carbolic soap. So I thought, oh my God, and I thought, is it me? Am I going mad? Or did they actually do that to me?
Yeah, well, they're all, and it's all opened up something to me. And if you look at this with these orphanages, which from child abuse to the way we were treated with belts, getting hammered, and carbolic soap, bleach in a bath, forced to drink dental and all that.
Yeah.
It's as if it was just all connected.
Yeah.
It's like a bloody mass paedophile ring with them all.
Well, this is what we've been saying, isn't it? We talk about paedophile rings.
Yeah.
If it was happening in Scotland, if it was happening in the north of England, if it was happening in the east of England, if it was happening in Wales and south of the account, it must have been something practiced by a group of men that went round abusing people up and down the country.
Yeah, well, we know of a man, I'll not mention his name. And I was asked one night, did I know this man be another orphanage for down south? And I went, no. Bugger it, I'll mention his name. His name is Holman. We got nothing to hide. This man Holman, I was asked, did I know him? I went, no. I was asked, could I find out? So I went, yeah. So I seen Jane, and then we seen the Quarriers Warriors, not one is. And it was a few nights later that Jane asked me, she goes, what was that name you were looking for? I went, Holman. And we discovered this Holman has signed Jane's records. Now, Jane was moved 100 miles from her home in Dundee to Quarriers. Well, it's just under that, 100 miles from Dundee to Quarriers. Now, there's many orphanages in Dundee and the roundabout our area. And that's sort of going, why the hell would they move kids that distance? And then I started investigating Holman. And I've got them linked with 7 orphanages just now in Scotland and down south that this man worked with at the same time. This man was collecting a wage from every one of these 7 orphanages. So he'd be earning a good bit of money. And also, he was earning a bonus for the children. He moved because the orphanage where, say, Jane was in Dundee, when they moved Jane to Quarriers, the orphanage in Dundee received money because they were moving Jane, and Quarriers also received money for receiving them. Kids were moved to orphanage down south, and the same happened again. All money. And that leads one to William Quarrier himself, who I thought was a fantastic man, you know, giving home to orphanages, to orphan children. And I started really getting involved, investigating, finding out more. And then I realised, wait a minute, this man's in here for money. Because his first orphanage was opened in Glasgow, but he wanted a country environment, as I spoke about. And there was a Knitting's Hill farm in Bridge of Weir that come up for sale.
Sandy, I think Jenny wanted to.
Yeah, she wants to come.
something.
Let her come in. She come in a minute. It's all right.
Yeah, well,
He's watching the screen. I think he's watching the screen anyway.
Okay.
Go on, Sandy.
I'm sorry. So I thought this William Corrier was a great man, what he was doing. And when he got this land, he knew within himself, this is a perfect environment, but he hadn't the money to buy it. And what he done is he went round our area getting all the lords and the title people, very wealthy, and I'm talking, these people never need to worry about money in their lives again, or their families. And he got them all in a room, and they locked the door, and they refused to let them out until they donated the money to buy the farm. That's how he got it. And then he started sending children to Canada, to Australia, all making money. Every child that was in there had a parent alive, had to pay, well, back in the 1950s during our time, Jane's father was getting charged like 15 shillings a week at 75 pence per child. And they ran into debt 2 weeks previous to Jane being released to Corriers to a father that didn't know her. Jane's father had wrote to Corriers stating he didn't want his children, put them up for adoption, but yet Corriers returned Jane and her sister and her brother back to her father that didn't know them because he'd fell into debt.
Yeah, they do that. I'll come back to that in a minute because there's something I want to make on that point as well, Sandy. But let's let Jenny come in. Jenny, sorry, mate, you wanted to come in.
I was just saying, as Sandy was explaining about, the links and, how comes that, it's the same there and same there. Well, when I was brought up in care, I noticed that when, for example, my foster father, who was he was a foster parent, but he also was a janitor to some of the children's homes where we lived.
Yeah.
From there, when abuse happened in those, for example, we lived in a little country village, and it was only a small little village, but it was a farming village. You had 7 children's homes, Mothers Union children's homes, okay? And what happened was when somebody said they were being abused, they would be moved up to North Wales or London or something like that. If somebody made a claim against a foster parent or a social worker, those social workers would be transferred to another children's home. And so, what you were saying, Sandy, it's just kind of like...
Yeah, a vicious circle.
Yeah.
It's funny you said there's something you said and something Sandy said. I'll pick up on both of them because you turned around and said Mothers Union. Did that Mothers Union be like an unmarried mother's home?
Yes, yeah. So I was in one of those as well.
So it's another way of calling it an unmarried mother's home, really, isn't it?
No,
a mother's union.
You know what it is,
yeah. So I get what you mean because my sister was in one. So Sandy, that to you, when you was talking about that, there's something on my records where harp sleep. There's something about harp sleep where either my great granddad was looking after us at Babbers at one stage and was being paid a nominal fee. And it's around about what you were saying in old money. It was pittance. It was only pennies or whatever it might have been. But it was still, there was something about paying social services, if you get what I mean. Or paying your carers.
Yeah, well, that, we were asked about our Corriers, right? They were asking about the care they gave children. And they goes, well, we had social workers that went in and seen the children. Well, okay. We never seen them. We never seen that. I don't know anyone that's seen these social workers. But the social workers that quarriers had, they weren't the council or anything. They were employed by quarriers themselves.
Yeah.
So everything, and that's what I said, everything that happened, even if a child did go to them, it was all whitewashed away. I reported my abuse, as you know, as I said, I get beaten black and blue and forced to apologise, say I was making it up.
Yeah.
That's
Break it up a little bit, Sandy.
sorry. That's what I'm talking about quarters. It happens all the time. But it's bad when okay, there are a new management team in, but man, what about it? And they something about it. I'm just my witness.
You're breaking up. You sound like a robot.
So, give me again.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
When I asked quarters, I was given 3 in the space, and the first few they didn't keep records during my time. Well, it was wrong. She went, no, I goes, no, of others. And she put her hands in her head. She went, oh, I've had a busy day, and started jazz hands. What it says, I to the I proved her wrong, and that's when she goes, oh,
your signal keeps going and coming back, Sandy. It's intermediate. Is that? Are you getting it, Jenny?
I am, yeah.
You get it all, or is it breaking up?
No,
for you as well?
it's intermediate, yeah.
I really don't know what's up.
Here comes my mate. Here comes my mate Del.
Yeah, well, as I said, you know, the last excuse, a lot of records went moved on for an investigation to find.
You're breaking up, Sandy. Let me just come off you for a second, Sandy, in case it might come back in a second. As you can see, Del, are you there, Del?
Yeah, Alan, I'm here. Just let Sandy
Hello,
finish
mate.
off what I'm here. You're all right.
Jenny, let me introduce you to Delroy. This guy is absolutely a fantastic guy, and I class him as a friend. And Jenny, meet Delroy. Delroy, meet Jenny.
Delroy.
Hi, Jenny. You okay, Jenny?
Yeah, you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good.
Now, Delroy can go back. His history is absolutely superb. And he talks about things, and when I've listened to him, his knowledge is phenomenal. And he goes back to times when he talks about the Jacobites. And not only would that fascinate, not only does that fascinate the likes of Sandy, Jeanette, but I'm sure would you as well, because there is something with you, isn't there?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more.
Who?
You tell us a little bit more about yourself and let Delroy hear about yourself.
Well, I was brought up in care. My birth parents were, my dad was a pastor. He was 35 and my mum was 14. My mum was put in again in the same mothers union. As I was saying, until she had me, but there was twins. I don't know what happened to the other child. No clue whatsoever. So in care, I was badly abused. We weren't ever allowed. Social services used to come and visit us. Never went upstairs, never saw the bedroom that we lived in. We had one little box room where 10 of us lived in, 10 of us foster children, sorry. And then they didn't want us in the house, only when we cleaned. And so they used to put us in the shed. We had an out shed where we lived most of the time. It was a small, dirty, filthy shed, cold and everything. And then, my foster father had a thing about abusing us. He started with me. I mean, previous to that, I found my social worker records because I put in on immunity for 10 years, so I wasn't able to get hold of them. But in my social worker records, every social worker that visited us knew that we were being abused. There's comments in the social worker records like, we believe these children are being abused, but because we were labelled, it says, because we were labelled with being acutely retarded, we're going to leave them there because it will not give them any long-term effect. They told, there was things about, they knew that we were living in a shed. There was some horrific stuff that social services knew, but they kept us there. We were put in a school when, for acutely carded children, just opposite Stoke Mandeville Hospital, where you know, the bloody Savile was, and he came to the school many a time, allowed to do gym with us, and abused again. My foster father had he exchanged us for money. They used to take pictures of us, and we were in a catalogue. And so we were fed to powerful people, went to different places, loads of different places. And also there was the West Wickham Golden Ball. I don't know if West Wickham Caves, where we were also kind of like satanic abuse. And I had several children from the age of, I was pregnant at the age of 10, and I think they aborted that, but I had children after that, and I had to sadly witness them being killed. We also had the army, it was an American military base, Naphill, just opposite the Golden Ball. And we were taken there as well. And there was, you know, you'll see an article of me because of previously me and my son, we've had to move so many times because we've been threatened for over 20 years. My son's life, we've moved here and there, not knowing anybody, not having anybody around us, because if they found us, they would beat me up. And at one time they hurt my son and everything in front of me. And so it's kind of like we've been on this run, and hiding, just moving everything, you know, leaving everything. We always had, every time we moved somewhere, we always had a packed suitcase ready to go. And that was our lives. It's only been the last 2 years that we've been still. But we, you know, again, I was classed as a troublesome, you know, naughty child, you know, so many labels, put in a psychiatric ward at the age of 11, sectioned, just like so much. And then for over 30 years trying to fight for justice. But I get so far and they just, you know, something happens that you can't go any further. And it's the last time was last year, and it was a time lapse. And then someone, I had a barrister who had to give an independent view of the case. And he didn't read the notes. He said, there's too many notes to read, so I'm just going to summarize. And he just, we were so close. And if it wasn't for his, because it's legal aid, and I only had one more shot of legal aid, and he lost the case to us. So, you know, and I've got everything in my social worker records that, you know, was happening to me. Yeah.
I mean, you went through some really, really bad.
That's horrific.
You went through some really bad ordeals, and I think in part of your story, when I was hearing it before, there's some of the stuff that you went through.
Yeah.
I could never ever live with.
No. I mean, you know, for me, it's like I'm a loner, you know, and I find it immensely hard to. I haven't had a relationship with you know, I've been on my own, and I find it immensely hard to allow people in because I'm petrified of people, but I love people. You know, it sounds ironic because I was also the carer of my foster children, so I always used to look after them, nurture them, sing to them when they were scared, because the shed was it was I mean, at the age of 11, I had to lean over in the shed, and I'm not that tall, so you can imagine, you know, how small that shed was. We couldn't stand upright, but that was most of our life. We didn't have any lighting in it. It was damp. It stunk, and we had, you know, sometimes there would be 10 of us kids at once in this little shed, and then, you know, spend it in there. Then we'd be called in to clean the floor and things like that. And they gave us this little tiny scrubbing brush and this massive, kind of like they had a small holding, this massive stone kitchen floor, and we had to scrub. And then we'd get so far, nearly finished it, and they would just come in and make it all dirty again. We had to start, and they would mock and laugh at us. And just, you know, that was the minor of it. It was horrific abuse, you know, and selling us off to other people. And every
I've heard
time
of that kind of thing with corporal punishment, where they've used, like in the army, as punishments for, in a way
ECT.
of discipline, to make them more disciplined.
Yeah,
They've used them
yeah,
clean things with toothbrushes and things like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then they
yeah,
come back over after they've cleaned the floor and just chuck the bucket of water.
yeah, yeah,
They've cleared that
yeah.
mess up again. You haven't done it properly, or whatever the case might be. But this is part, when you talk about all of this stuff, when we talk about paedophiles, and we talk about paedophile rings, we talk about what happened to Sandy in Quarriers, we talk about what happened to us in Beechholme, what happened to you. There is so many links. It's kind of like an in-breath thing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can concur. I mean, in terms of the satanic stuff, we're online, and I don't tend to, and I offline with me now and speak about it. I'm not surprised about that. What I find interesting is the fact that it's you mentioned the military.
Yeah.
I found that bit interesting because people don't realize that the military is heavily involved with MK. You've probably not heard of me, but MK Ultra. This is a form of mind control. So you'll notice that everything's very militarized. That's because of the Jesuit cabal cult that's running this system at the top end of it. And everything's done by posting or orders or military. So I'm not surprised that the military is involved, but a lot of people don't realize this, that's why the military are involved. What was interesting, you mentioned the fact that a lot of the demonic abuse goes at military bases or at these, like I said, small holdings, like these small mansions. Now, an aspect of this that people don't realize now, because you brought some of it up, so I'll talk about it. And I know me and Alan have spoken offline, but I'm not going too far in online. But obviously, with the souls that are here, because obviously we've all got souls because you came through a woman's womb to get here. The thing about this reality is the fact that a lot of these how this system works, or how this the magic side of it works. If you've got an intent that you want to do, there's an aspect of this that you've got to use what I call decompartmentalization. You've got to do programming, and in order to get the energy that's needed for that, they need to do rituals, which is what you've just been talking about with the sex magic. So Aleister Crowley was into manifesting the harlots of Babylon, and this is what you've experienced an aspect of this through sexual ritual abuse. And unfortunately, child murder got killed. The reason why they killed the child, I know it's wrong, but because the souls are pure, they just come from the other side. They've got a lot of what's called Christos or Christonic energy. And so what they're doing at these military bases is through these moonchild rituals, these rituals that they're doing is what happens is the Earth's on ley line, it's on grids, and these grids and ley line points that the army base is built on, that Buckingham Palace is built on, that most of these big places, all these castles are built on, stuff like that. They're built on the Earth's grids, on the Earth's ley lines. And basically, in order to make this system work in a certain way, to give it the energy it needs to function off the souls that are here, the souls energies that are here. And obviously, you've got these two ways of doing this. Is obviously there's energy that can be used and collected for good purposes, and this wouldn't use collect for bad purposes. They do it for obviously the ones that I've just met. They do it for the obvious reasons. But what they do is with this the soul's energies, because the soul is connected to here. That's why they do the rituals at the bases. But the energy that's used from when the child's destroyed, they can use that same energy kinetically and magically. So they can use that to make all kinds of different stuff on a much more spiritual, energetic level. This is what happened. This is what happened with all that. The Russians found this all out in that the first and second World War. And before then, centuries even before then, they were aware of how this country's got its powers done through sex magic rituals. So that's why they're always doing that at the military bases, because the magic is used, even though you're obviously once they're done with you, particularly as you're melanated as well, particularly melanated, you've got a particular sort of resonance with the souls that come here, that they use that melanin for. So I'm not surprised by it at all. It's horrific for you, but that's part of decompartmentalization on your front, because the trauma, they also extract that from you. But remember, the child's connected to you because they come through your womb. The soul thing is inside your womb as well. So you've got a connection from the mother to the child. So they traumatize the child through you, as well as you being traumatized as well. So they use all that what I call root chakra energy, and they use all that. So don't be surprised about that at all. A lot of people don't realize this stuff, but it goes on. It even goes on even now. Vatican are notorious for this kind of stuff, and the elite are notorious for it. So you see these blood sacrifice rituals, which you obviously have been a party to, and you've seen a part of all that, and that's why it's so traumatic. Because obviously they either eat the children. And then they do other rituals, which also connects their soul energy as well. They're also taking that, and part of that aspect you also got to see as well as them feeding off you, because you're also traumatized by seeing the death of your child, as well as your energy that's there as well. So they do it on a multiple vectored level. I'm not surprised by this at all. None of it surprised me at all. And you
Del,
mentioned
let me just come in for a sec. Del?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go off now because I want to spend some time with my wife. She's a little bit upset because she hasn't seen me for a few days. So I'm going to let you guys carry on.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice for Jenny to get to know Del and you guys just to sort of have a little chat between you. Is that all right, Jenny? Thank you, Jenny. Love you, darling. And I'll speak to you soon.
Too. Send my love to your wife as well.
I will, but she's a little bit upset, darling, because she hasn't seen me for a few days.
I can understand, yeah.
And thanks, Sandy, for everything again. He's muted himself. Sandy? You muted, mate. Sandy, you muted yourself, Sandy. Sandy, you muted, mate. Oh, he's not listening. He can't hear me. All right, I'll see you later, and I'll leave you guys up to it.
I've got you there, Alan.
Bye-bye.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon, Sandy. Thanks for everything. I'm going to let you guys chat amongst yourself. I'm just going to spend a bit of time with my wife.
Right, well, I'm going through to give Jane a wee bit of support now.
Are you all right, Jenny, for a little while?
Yeah, I'm going to have to, my son's just come in from work, so I'm going to have to go as well very soon. But
Well,
I'm to speak to Dal for a little while longer.
Yeah, because Delroy is absolutely brilliant. He's taken my
Sounds
work.
it very interesting. Very
Fantastic
interesting.
guy, and I love him to pieces. And Sandy, brother from another mother, I'll see you soon.
Love you, brother.
See you later, mate.
Bye-bye, Alan.
Who would have thought hundreds of years ago that an Englishman and a Scottishman could get on so well? You know?
Yep.
We didn't need that Hadrian's Wall, did we?
Tell me.
No, it's good to see you getting on. It's good to see you getting on.
Yeah.
We're all friendly up here in Scotland. We got on well with everyone, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the way of us, you know. If we can get a party going for anything, we'll get a party going.
I want an invite.
Move in, you know. But, this is the way we are, you know. But it should be that way, you know. But
Charles Ernest.
Yeah, Charles, he's one of the he's part of the Wake Up UK team. Is Charles?
That's right, Del.
He'll have just joined. He's just getting his order. But just getting his.
Well, yeah, whoever's leaving you.
Sandy, did you say you had to go and see to Jane, or are you staying around for a while?
I'm going to say good night until we meet again. Thanks everyone tonight.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Love you, girl. You take care.
Love you too, yeah. Take care, darling.
Hope to speak soon again. So from me, Sandy Smith, night guys. Take care. Good
night, darling.
Bye.
Right, see you later, Sandy.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, so we've got Del, Charles, and Jenny.
And Jenny, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Jenny's gonna have to get off in a bit as well. what I'll do, Jay, because I've got Alan's, me and Alan in contact. I've got his number. I'll get him to either I'll get him to pass my number on to him. We can speak, because I don't want to hold you up for too. Because I don't want to hold you up for too long. Because obviously, if I start going, we'll be here for God knows how long, and it's no need for that when I can speak to you privately. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, you're gonna have to
I
spend
would
some time.
love to speak to you. Yeah,
you get me? I totally get that. Yeah, so we can definitely do that privately. There's so much more I don't talk about that I can't put in the public. But yeah, you've definitely seen some things, and yeah, nothing surprises me at all. And you won't think that this world, or not this world, but the people that are in this world, because it's not the world itself. The Terra Gaia, she's brilliant. She's not the problem. It's the lower frequency reptilian souls, I'm going to refer to them as, that are here, that have got what I call lack of empathy, and they're just service to self. And you've seen a lot of that aspect of that while you've been, about that down here. And sometimes you ask yourself, how on earth can somebody do this to somebody else? Well, they can. They're service to self, and they lack empathy. And you've seen a big aspect of that. I'm very familiar with all this kind of stuff, and I'm quite happy to speak to you a lot more in depth about it. But the fact that you've been able to do what you've done and survive down here as a soul, the experiences that you've had down there will have far elevated your soul a lot further. And when you leave here, when it's time to leave third dimensional Earth, you leave here with the most unique experiences, and you'll have certainly left here with a lot learned. A lot of people have still got some learning to do, and we're at a point now whereby some of us will be able to leave here, and some of us will have to end up staying because of all the madness we've got into. So, you know what I mean? We're at a fascinating standpoint right now. We've only got a couple of months before the advent of Aquarius starts, and we're at a very unique point where we're going to be able to, we're exposing a lot of this, and these so-called people keep hiding behind the shadows and being corrupt. She talks about these barristers. They're all going to get it because the truth will expose them all. They haven't got long left. They're completely decrepit, and they need exposing.
Good. Listen, could I just tell you just a tiny bit about my project that I'm just setting up as well?
Yes.
It's a lady from Spain she does therapy, and it's about clearing your mind, and they want to help us free for the time being, survivors, with free therapy. But the project we're setting up is about it's going to be a community where we kind of like build these little hubs all around the country, and hopefully worldwide, where we can we build strong communities, so people will get to know us, we will get to know them, we can be look out for our children, but within these communities we'll have crafts, we'll make furniture, we'll do creative writing, and we'll sell it to the community, so we can have our own finances and everything like that. We're not going to rely on the governments. We want to bring our own independent communities living off each other. So this is called the Graceful Community. So if you Google the Graceful Community, you'll come up with the website, and I'll leave Alan with more information for you all. I think I'm coming on next Monday, so I'll tell you more then as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in terms of therapies, I mean, I've got a friend who's an artist, and he's very creative, and I'm sure he could certainly add towards something towards that, to be honest with you.
Fantastic. Because what we're looking also is we're looking for volunteers. We're going to do some fundraising, different ways we can fundraise. We're going to do an auction for art stuff, because I'm also an artist. I'm a self-taught artist, and I kind of like reupholster sofas and goodness knows what else. But so we're going to look to sell those products and show people that survivors have got so much to offer the world.
What's it called? Remind me again. The Graceful Community.
Yeah, the Graceful Community. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to look that up.
How are you spelling that, Jenny?
Sorry?
Can I ask how you're spelling that? Because I think people may not have heard.
It's Graceful. So GRACEFUL.
Oh, graceful.
Community.
Graceful.
Yeah.
I was thinking glacial, as in like icebergs and glacial. I don't know why I was thinking that. I think it's just the
graceful.
sound quality's not great on his live streams sometimes. It's like, so graceful,
Graceful community.
graceful.
Oh,
GRACE
found it. That's
FUL.
brilliant.
Got you.
Yeah, have you got it?
Yeah, I'm online. I'm
Oh,
online.
Dale,
while
can you
I was
drop
doing
it?
this, so I'm just typed it in.
Can you copy a link
Yeah.
into the chat room,
All
Dale?
right then, lovelies. I'm gonna have to love and leave you,
Okay.
but yeah, and keep in touch, all of you.
Yeah,
it's been
definitely,
lovely.
definitely.
Thank you, Josh.
I'm looking forward to you being on
Dale.
next week as well, Jenny. That should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't
You
be a
take
stranger.
care, guys.
Cheers.
God bless.
Bye.
Night.
Okay, Dale, can you drop that link into the chat room?
Just give me a second. I'm gonna pop it into our chat here. I've got it already. If this
I meant
is
the
right.
website chat room as well.
I'll do it in a second, but I'll put it in there first.
Sure.
So you've got it yourself. Okay, it's in our chat. That's there. If it's grateful, it's full. I assume that's it anyway. Hopefully that's it.
Actually, what she was saying about, everybody should have, basically a sanctuary and that now. My view is we've all got to start saying to the government, you go your way, play your little silly games. We're going to live our life, set our own communities up. You know what I mean? I've always thought that, you know what I mean? Because
I was going to check this out, this other side, to make sure it's the right one. So I could have even got the wrong one. I'm just going to double check. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I think you got the wrong link there, Dale, because that's an American website in Nebraska. So was it Graceful Community, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm just looking at it now. Because I've got a couple of sites here, you see, Jason. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, we should.
She said it was Spain, didn't she? Might be a clue for you. A friend in Spain setting it up.
Let's get a link maybe next
I've got
week.
quite a couple of. Yeah, I'll get. What I'll do is this one. I'm gonna get. I'll speak to Alan and I'll get him to send me the link for it because I've got like a couple of sites here.
Sure.
And I thought it might be the right one, but it's not.
How did Friday night end up, Jason?
Oh, I fell asleep. I woke up and I heard Dell. And it was like, I think that's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning or something. Wasn't it, Dell? I know it was early.
Yeah, we're going all over the place.
Went on until 10 o'clock in the morning.
Did it? No,
I missed most of it. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was meaning about the slanging match.
Less said. You know what? Less said about that, the better. I think.
Back to give up listening.
But let's just say we won't be getting any more of them. Let's just say that much. So, this isn't a place for arguments.
Jay.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Go on, Del.
You don't agree.
Jay, what's happening at 9 o'clock?
At 9 o'clock, I think we're free now till 10:30. Let me double check.
All right, can I get a show on at 9? I'm gonna get Tree to come on and talk.
Yeah,
about
you can do. Yeah.
All right, that's
yeah.
fine.
Next show is 10:30 with Ed.
Right,
so
I'll be off in a second to let him know.
If you want to go away and come back at 9 and do a
Yeah, that's fine, no problem. I can fill you some time in.
Okay, cool.
All right, sorry, not to interrupt. All right, Charles is speaking. I'm gonna go quiet. Give me a couple of minutes.
Okay.
While you listen, well, if you can listen to that, weekend I sent the old Armed Forces Chamber right, email. You probably read it, or if you haven't, you got a copy of it anyway, saying there'd be no telephone call and all this, like, you know what I mean, sort of thing. You had your chance. This is another sort of thing, and if you do, then I'll bill you. You know what I mean? So. I think tomorrow my things will be sent to the Supreme Court. I'm nearly ready. Let them decide. about it.
So, Charles, how many times have you actually been in court with your court case? Has it been in court a couple of times, or?
There's various things. There's many things.
Yeah, how many times have you actually had to go to court over it? I mean,
well, I've been through all the lower courts as such on a lot of the things. You know what I mean?
And has it just escalated every time to the next level up each time? Is that what
Yeah. Well, basically, they come out with their normal crap. There's no merit. We're striking it out. Because basically, if you listen to Delroy, because they're trying to stop it, block it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, I put it to the Supreme Court many times. The lower courts are not courts of law. They're acting for the defendants, you know, the gatekeepers is the word you call, you know what I mean? Sort of thing. They're not listening. The job of the judge is to listen to both sides and that. But basically, I'm getting court cases, what put in, they get passed to go into court because the system you go through to get into court. But as soon as you enter the court, sort of thing, they throw it out. Or, you know, they make a decision, yet there's no respondents in court. How can that work out? You know what I mean? Corruption, the gatekeepers, blocking. You know what I mean? So basically, you know, as me and Delroy now, that's okay. Dig out, we appeal. They'll turn down your appeal, no matter what you put. They'll turn down the appeals, strike it out, this and another. So refuse your permission to appeal. So you just then go to the higher court, sort of thing. And if they try it or do it, you learn the system, you know, you learn their game. They're just trying to strike it out all the time. But at the end of the day, it gets to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court does constitutional matters or human rights matters of national importance. So you basically, that's what I'm doing now. Big massive court bundles going in tomorrow to them. But they'll only be given 14 days. I'm not worried about COVID-19 sort of thing, what they're trying to hide behind at the moment. And basically that's their problem, because to me, there is no COVID-19. Facilities can be made where people appear in courts and that, if you know what I mean. So I'll give them 14 days. Basically, the Supreme Court either will say, yes, they'll carry on the court case, or if they strike it out, no merit, this and that, fine. Because that's what I need to go to the international courts. You've got to go to every level sort of thing of the UK courts before you can go to the international courts, which is, you know, in the Strasbourg or the EU's own Court of Justice, or even the United Nations Human Rights Court. They won't entertain you till basically you've got a no merit strikeout from the Supreme Court. So basically, you know, you just go through their motions, this and other, but you're building your case, you see. That's all you've got to present to the international courts where they break international law, then you won your case. So, you know, it's really in the interest of the UK courts to settle at the first opportunity.
Have they tried to settle at all, Charles? Not meaning to be nosy, but have they tried to get it out of court? Because a lot of these things they try and settle out of court just to make it go away, and you know they're never a bit liability when they do that, do they? They just want to buy you off, basically, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, you see, with the Navy ones, I've offered 10, 12 times to settle out of court.
Yeah.
But you see, that is actually, Jason, one of the things you've got to do. Because there's a recent court case. I was talking to Delroy the other day on the telephone. This woman had a court case ongoing and all this lot. And the UK judge turned around and basically dismissed the case, struck it out, because what he said to her, before coming to court, there's other means and ways that both parties can
Yeah,
settle
that's
it.
true. If they, is it, I
And you
suppose
haven't done it.
if the judge
he
thinks that
said.
you're wasting court time by turning down something that was a credible settlement,
both
then they're going to
parties.
say, it's you could shoot
I can
yourself in the
see
foot.
his point, but I can see he's using it to dismiss her case because she had a case. You know what I mean? You've got to watch him how they use things. So basically, I led ages ago to making out a court settlement office to the other side. But they won't, Navy's never replied to them all. They've got them all. They never replied or all. But another thing I learned is if you're making out a court settlement to the other side, either they don't answer or they turn it down. If you're winning court, that's the minimum you walk out with. You know what I mean?
Got ya. Yeah.
Which is right because they've turned it down, haven't they? Like so you learn all the tricks of the trade, if you know what I mean. Delroy knows them as well. Tell knows them. Ken, who helps him and that does. You know what I mean? The right devious, you know what I mean? Sort of thing. But they're still trying to impose a hearing on the 9th of October for me knee cases. But I defeated that in Manchester in a tribunal case. I had them, tried to say, we're trying to get he weren't the respondent, the Secretary of State, the Defence Minister. There'll be jobs worth in what they call the Veterans UK sort of thing. There'll be somebody from there. And I was like, no, it's got to be the respondent. It's his name on the court papers. If he don't come, well, he hasn't come, you admitted it, you've got to give me the case. Oh, no, Mr. Spencer, we're trying to get somebody to speak and answer. I'm like, no, it's not the respondent. That's it. I am not talking to anybody or listening to somebody on a telephone because I don't know who it is. I can't see them. But all this lot, they're supposed to be in court, sworn in on evidence, give the evidence, and you cross-examine them. That's the law for every court case. But what they're trying to do now, and I'm highlighting to the court, there's 5 cases here going to the Supreme Court tomorrow. It's all the same. The respondent don't turn up in court, and the judges wanting to, whatever they wrote, that's it. Ignoring my case or my side of the argument or whatever, and I'm the claimant. So basically, it's me should be running the show. It's up to them to defend themselves. That's why they call the respondent in a civil case, defendant in a criminal. It's up to them. But the judges all go, no, that's it. I read the documents, and this is me judgment. But nobody's been cross-examined. Do you understand that?
Yeah, they've got to be in court to answer what you're putting to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Delroy, I was shocked in 2018, January. I've been to Ukraine, come back, opened the court bundle. There's 4 documents. It's 46, 46A. Well, when I say 46 and 47A with the reverse of 46 and 47, you know what I mean? So I named them 46 and 47A, the other side. Never seen them in my life. The Royal Navy police came, 2 of them up to Doncaster. We went, they picked me up and we went to Donny police station to use their facilities, recordings and that, if you know what I mean, room and that. And so they were on the phone. They were on phone to other Royal Navy police who had all my service records there in Portsmouth, and they're troweling through them, this and another. And these 4 documents, what I saw in 2018 in the court bundles, they never found, had no knowledge of, if you understand. They were with my service records. But it says I was removed from HMS Coventry for contempt to the divisional officer. I thought, what the fuck's this? You know what I mean? So I reread it, if you know what I mean. So that was their reason for they trying to claim the minister's defence. I was removed from HMS Coventry when I outed an homosexual predator officer who was trying to blackmail under 18 for sex. And at the time, in the Royal Navy, homosexuality was a serious charge, weren't allowed. But also, for homosexuality, even Civilian Street, the age was 21. So he's after 16, 17-year-olds, and I'm their sort of social worker and that. So after all this lot and trying to protect him, I had to then go to the captain and that and report him. The next day I got kicked off the ship, sort of thing. And, you know, but what these 4 documents say, and like on 46, it says this contempt. Huh? So I realise this is what they're going to, well, be using or going to use as their defence. But right at the bottom of the page, it says I lost the respect of all officers, of all my peers, which is the other senior ratings on board Coventry, and all the junior rates. Well, that's 286 people, that. Because with me, the crew is 287, sort of thing. Now, in the court case, on the 17th of August 2008, the respondent didn't turn up, or any of his who's wrote all these malicious falsehoods in his name. But as I was trying to say to the court, well, it states here 286 people I lost respect of. So where's the witness statements from 1979? Where is 286 people queued up out the door to state this against me? Like, or is it 200? Or, you know, and I worked it all the way down. I goes, in fact, the Coventry 5, as I call them, the 4 officers and the Navy policeman on board Coventry was all involved in covering up, and why I got fucking dismissed for outing the officer. Because you've not even produced a document of these Coventry 5. And one of them Coventry 5 is that divisional officer I'm supposed to do contempt, sort of thing. But the judge weren't having any of it. I'm happy with what they wrote. Well, anyway, I lost it, if you know what I mean. Not me, lost it in court, the case, if you know what I mean. I tried appealing this and another. They're just not interested. They won't answer this and another. So, you know what I mean. But in my submission tomorrow over that in the to the Supreme Court, I've sent them another document. Like I said, the Navy's trying to ignore this, but on the 17th December or November, on the 17th of December 1978, I was rated up to be an acting petty officer. Because when you get rated up to be a petty officer, you have to spend 1 year on a trial, probation as such. It's quite easy to lose that as well, if you know what I mean. And after a year, you go back in front of the captain, all reviewed, everybody puts their input, and he makes either the choice of confirming you as a petty officer, removing it, or saying, I want you to come back in 3 months, better yourself. You know, he makes a decision. So on the 17th of December, 1 year later, I was confirmed petty officer. Now, if that statement of contempt of court towards the divisional officer in 1979 was true, I would never have got confirmed a few months later, if you understand. Sort of thing, you know what I mean? So, you know, I've sent it, you know, and I said, so here's another example, Supreme Court, of the lies by on all this lot. And where did them 4 documents come from? Because
I don't know if Dale's going to be coming back, but he said he's going to come on at 9 o'clock and put a show on at 9 o'clock. So he wanted a bit of time to go prepare everything, but I could do with a bit of time out as well.
Yeah. Can you understand? It's all corruption.
Yeah.
You know,
do I believe that the courts are corrupt? Hell yes.
Oh, I tell him.
The bears shit in the woods. The penguins get cold asses. You know.
No, what can they do? I've called a judge to his face, you know.
Yeah, I bet he loved that.
You're crooked. He went, oh, thank you, Mr. Spencer. I was okay. Call it your old time, mate.
Exactly.
Oh, and
Right.
bye. And I left. Anyway.
Right, should we wrap up for a little while, or do you want to stay on and I won't be with you?
No. Well, I'd say I'm trying to.
I've got to do this thing called food.
Yeah. I've got to. I only went, because everybody's leaving. I thought we're leaving down.
No, it's good. I appreciate you jumping in.
Yeah, I thought I'd, jump in and out. I'm still trying to finish some of my documents for tomorrow.
We'll come back at 9 and we'll have Del on here. And I think he's bringing tea on as well. So.
The last show we did, 9 o'clock, him and Tel. I learned a lot there. Plus, I could agree with everything. Tel says the courts are gatekeepers. That's what they are.
Yeah,
anyway,
there you go. Right, okay then.
See ya.
Right, see you, Charles. See you at 9.
Bye.